whispered like voices in sleep. They were not alive and yet more alive than anything Rue had ever seen. The lion stepped forward first. "You were not the first child to come here," it said, voice rumbling like deep drums. "But you may be the last," the serpent hissed. "Why have you come?" asked the owl. "To ask for your help," Rue said. "The balance is breaking. The humans have forgotten." "They always forget," the ape murmured. "But this time," Rue said, "some are trying to remember. I have seen it, I have lived it." The guardians looked at one another. Then at Luma, a fire child, the serpent said. "She did not burn." The lion replied. "She bled for the forest," Nia growled. Stepping forward, Rava added. "She climbed, she learned, she fell and stood again." Silence followed. Then the owl asked Rue, "Would you give your name to save this place?" "I already did," he said. "Would you give your breath?" "Yes." "Would you give your voice?" Rue hesitated, then nodded. "If it means the jungle will speak louder than me." "Yes." The ape guardian finally spoke again. "Then it begins." They raised their great limbs and the vines of the chamber surged, wrapping around Rue and Luma, not to bind, to share. Visions poured into their minds. The first ape to paint a story in bark. The first child to be carried by wolves across Riverbeds. The fire that nearly ended it all. The tree that sealed the wound and the truth they never knew. The jungle once chose humans, then unchose them, but never forgot. Aru gasped as the vision ended. Luma dropped to her knees, eyes wet, chest heaving, and the lion said, "You carry our breath now. When the trees call, you must answer. When the sky breaks, you must hold it together." "What happens if we fail?" Luma whispered. The owl turned its head slowly. "Then the jungle will take back everything, including its secrets." When they returned to the surface, the fog was gone. The air was sharp, clear-charged, and Rue felt the vines beneath his feet shift, not beneath him, with him. He didn't just live in the jungle now. He was part of it. Jungleborn, Act 2, Scene 4. Smoke at the Edge cinematic prose, scene duration, 18 to 20 mins. They saw the smoke long before they reached the cliffs. It didn't rise like mist, it stabbed into the sky. Black, ugly, coiling through. The blue, like a scar, reopened. Rava dropped from the tree's mid-sprint, fur drenched in sweat. "They've started burning," he said, voice shaking, not by accident. Rue's face didn't change, but his pace quickened. Behind him Luma clutched, her newly carved walking staff gifted by the owl guardian now humming faintly with every step. Nia flanked her, tail twitching, hackles raised. They had only been gone 2 days, and yet the world had changed again. The listening post was no longer a sanctuary. Its outer paths were lined with orange fencing, blinking lights and metal stakes, driven deep into jungle soil. Trucks had arrived, new machines thicker, louder, more brutal, stood like mechanical insects clawing at the undergrowth. And in the distance, behind it all, fire. Controlled burns. They claimed containment efforts, they said. But the flames crept towards sacred territory, licking the feet of ancestral trees. Northland didn't wait, Luma whispered. "They never do," Rue muttered. He dropped to one knee, touched the earth. The vines stirred. The soil was dry. The trees were humming in panic. The jungle was in pain at the edge of the firebreak. Director Shaw stood in a clean white shirt, clipboard in hand. His eyes were shielded by gold-rimmed glasses, his mouth twisted in that same casual smirk that had no place in a dying forest. You emerged from the tree line, Luma beside him. "You're trespassing," Shaw said without looking up. "You're burning," Rue answered. "We're clearing dead growth." That tree, Rue pointed toward a collapsing fig strangler, was over 400 years old. That tree fed 1,000 lives. Shaw shrugged. That tree was in the way of progress. Then the ground trembled. Not from machines, from the jungle. Vines burst from the ground like serpents, wrapping around a bulldozer's treads. Roots cracked asphalt. A pair of monkeys swung from newly grown branches that hadn't been there moments before. A low hum pulsed from Rue's body, the mark of the guardians, now active. Shaw stepped back. "What are you doing?" "I'm not doing anything," Rue said. "She is." He pointed to the jungle and it roared. The trees moved not with wind, but will. Flames were snuffed out by walls of wet leaves. Treetops bent low, forming shields. Birds dove from the sky in coordinated flocks, confusing drones and machinery. The humans ran. Not Luma's people. Some scientists stayed huddled, unsure. Some listened, but the rest, Shah's engineers, private guards, contractors, scattered under the weight of an ecosystem fighting back. Still, Shah didn't run. He stood amid the chaos, jaw clenched, radio crackling at his belt. "You think this changes anything?" he snarled. "You think magic roots and monkey friends will stop us?" Rue stepped toward him. "Not roots, not magic. Balance. You can't fight the world." "I'm not trying to fight it," Rue said. "I'm trying to heal it." Then Shaw did something strange. He pulled out a remote, pressed a button. Nothing happened. A second passed. Then, boom, the ground to the east split open with fire. A new machine emerged, bigger, armed, armored. Its claws dug into the soil like knives. Its back carried canisters of accelerant. Luma's eyes widened. He built a fire crawler. More than That, Rue whispered. He built a predator. The crawler roared. Trees burst into flame. Vines recoiled, animals fled, and in that moment, fear returned. Rue raised his hands, channeling the breath of the Guardians. Vines shot forward, wrapped the crawler